We again welcome you to Tropicana Field, where the Rays continue this 8-game homestand. This will be Game 3 of the series between the Rays and the Chicago White Sox. It is a resurgent Tampa Bay Rays ball club. Hi again, everyone, with Brian Anderson. I'm Dwayne Statz. Great to have you aboard. We'll be hearing from Todd Callis throughout the evening as well. Well, Brian, the pitching and the defense collectively have been very good for this ball club, but recently we've started to see the offense come to life. People like Matt Joyce, he has 5 multi-hit games in the last 8.
Well, Joe Madden was taking applications. Who wants to step up for this offense? And if you do it, you put together some games of some productive at-bats, drive in some runs, get some base hits, he's going to have you out there in the lineup. And Matt Joyce has taken full advantage. Last 8 games, look at the numbers. Batting average approaching 500, 4 doubles, has driven in a bunch of runs. And right now, that's what it's all about. You're searching for offense. If you can go out there and be consistent with your approach, you're going to play. Matt Joyce has done that. He's also been very good out in the field playing stellar defense, as all the Rays have.
Now back to the pitching tonight. Wade Davis goes to the mound. He has a win. He's pitched well against the Chicago White Sox ball club. He's a big part of what the Rays hope to accomplish this year.
Yeah, and what you're seeing from this Rays starting rotation is guys starting to build start upon start, want to try to outdo the other guy. David Price, so good the other night. James Shields goes complete game last night, and Wade Davis going against this White Sox team that he's had some good success against. 2-1 record in 3 starts, an ERA under 2.5. He's going to stick to the same game plan, and that is pound that fastball to both sides of the plate, and he's really hurt this team with an overpowering slider.
So Wade in with a mark of 1-2. He'll be opposed by Phil Humber. The Rays saw him in Chicago in with a win and a loss this year and an earned run mark of 3.46. Now the Rays are a game under 500, trying to get to that break-even point. They've won 7 of their last 8 games. The starting pitching has been just terrific during that stretch. And when we return, Todd Callis will take an up-close look at the Rays starting rotation.
Tonight, Wade Davis has the ball for the Rays on the mound. This evening is Phil Humber for the Chicago White Sox. You heard just a moment ago Brian Anderson talk about the Rays build start after start after start, and Rays pitching coach Jim Hickey calls his starting rotation hyper-competitive as they try and really stay with or outdo the other one. It's going to be tough for Davis to outdo a complete game, but look at what the staff has done in the last 7. 4-1 mark, 6 quality starts for the Rays starters out of 7 games, an ERA of 2.22, opponent batting average just over 200, and that complete game turned in by James Shields. We caught up with both David Price and James Shields before the game today and asked them about all the starters going deeper into games.
That was our biggest goal last year as a staff, for the 5 starters to accumulate 1,000 innings as a whole. And that's, that's our biggest goal this year, is for 1,000 innings. And it's, I don't know how many teams really have that happen. Where they're 5 starters, they can stay logged in 1,000 innings. For the same 5 starters all year, that is. But you know, that's something we're working on right now, and for us to be able to go deep into games, give our bullpen, you know, the rest that they need it's big. It's definitely gonna help us at the end of the year.
You know, ever since 08, I think we take pride in trying to save that bullpen, no matter what happens, whether or not we give up 1 run, no runs, or give up 5 runs. We still try to go deep in the game. So I think that's very, very important, especially with the 162 games that we have, to keep that bullpen as fresh as we possibly can.
Both Price and Shields mentioning the bullpen. Wade Davis trying to keep the bullpen quiet tonight again, too. But one guy who's going to be in that bullpen later this year and will join the boys in the booth tonight in the 2nd inning. They're thinking about J.P. Howe's arrival in the 2nd inning. Dwayne and Brian Anderson, the thinkers. You can log on to FoxSportsFlorida.com. Click on the Rays link to submit your question, and they're staying in character all the way through this segment. I love it. Live baseball, live TV, high definition. BA, Dwayne, JP, under 3 minutes to go. It's a beautiful thing. Get ready for a little White Sox and Rays baseball, everybody, right here on Sun Sports, or locally if you're watching on Fox Sports Florida.
Tonight, brought to you by AutoWay, part of Auto Nation, the largest automotive retailer in the country, so we can do big things. By Tires Plus, thinking tires, think Tires Plus. Sonic, right now at Sonic, you can get your hands on 4 new premium beef hot dogs, now just $1.99 each. And by Toyota, moving forward. Fans filing in to Tropicana Field for Game 3 of the series. The Rays and the White Sox wrapping up their season series here tomorrow. Rays and the White Sox met 4 times in Chicago, and this is the 3rd game of this 4-game series at Tropicana Field. Ozzie Guillen puts his lineup together with Juan Pierre leading off in left. Gordon Beckham will hit second and play second. Hitting in front of Carlos Quentin, the right fielder. Paul Konerko at first. Adam Dunn's the DH. Alex Rios in center. Hitting 7th is A.J. Brzezinski, the catcher. Alexi Ramirez, the shortstop, 8th. And at third base, hitting 9th, Mark Teahan.
Right-hander Wade Davis makes his 4th start of the season for the Rays. See the season numbers. He's had good success against this White Sox team. 2-1 record in 3 starts. Coming off a strong outing in his last start against Minnesota, giving up just 1 earned run in 7 innings. Let's take a look at the Rays defense as it lines up tonight, left to right in the outfield. Sam Fuld, B.J. Upton, and Matt Joyce across the infield, 3rd to 1st. Felipe Lopez, Reed Brignac, Ben Zobrist, and Casey Kochman. John Jaso gets the call behind the plate.
There's Joe Madden, the Rays skipper. He said last night of the performance of James Shields, and we would have to agree with him. He's never seen him in the 9th inning throw 95, as Shields did, thinking about closing that thing out last night, and close it out he did, going the distance in a 2-1 Rays victory.
Boy, had to get through a couple of tough hitters there too at the end of the ball game. Adam Dunn and Paul Konerko. Whatever you have left, he left it go out there, and 95 it was.
Juan Pierre steps in. We're all set to play baseball, and the first pitch is a little bit wide. 1 ball, no strikes. Wade Davis making his 4th start. And there's a strike. It's 1-1. 72 comfortable degrees here at Tropicana Field for the start of this game. And a strike at the knees, a fastball around 90. It's 1-2. We've seen Wade Davis in the mid-90s with his fastball, but the last time out, he was not apparently as concerned with velocity as he was quality of location.
And that's called pitching.
Yep.
You know, you're watching Wade Davis start to work his way, morph his way into being a pitcher, not just a thrower. It's not all hard all the time. Location, move the ball in and out, go get 94, 95 when you need it.
And that note right there, ground ball to Zobrist at second. Pierre is out of there. Zobrist to Kochman. You saw the low walk total allowed by Rays pitching, and that's a carryover from spring training. You know, they were building a bullpen. They had the rotation intact, but Jim Hickey putting together a little better than half his staff in the bullpen. Command was an issue. They like the arms in the bullpen, but collectively the starters and the pen in spring training were very good. They didn't walk many men, and that's carried through right into the regular season. Strike call to Beckham. 1-1.
And Jim Hickey really stresses command of the strike zone, pitching ahead. Get ahead 0-1, but even if you fall behind, get to 1-1 and then get to 1-2. Those are his big counts.
It's a foul ball back. 1-2.
You look at the collective numbers over all of Major League Baseball, you get to that split count of 1-1, and you go to 1-2 or 2-1. The difference can sometimes, from hitter to hitter, can be hundreds of points.
Yeah, we've talked about that before in most cases, but you've done some deeper research in regard to Wade Davis, and it's really quite interesting.
It is. You know, Wade Davis, in fact, I thought my computer, I thought there was something wrong with it, because Wade Davis, over the course of his career, the batting average against is 252. But you look at what he's done when he falls into a 2-0 count. Anything after that, he holds opponents to a 223 average, which you would never have thought. Yeah, and if he gets it back to 2-1, so he falls behind, you know, 2-0, gets the next pitch for a strike. Anything that happens after a 2-1 count, league's hitting 197 off of them. Those are just shocking numbers, because those are typically the counts that you really get hurt in. But Wade Davis does a nice job of really bearing down and coming up with outs.
Pitch is down. It's going to run the count to 2-2 on Beckham. Now, typically, you know, if a pitcher gets ahead of a hitter, 0-1 as opposed to 1-0, there's about a 45 to 50 point swing in that batting average, depending on who's ahead in the count. Pop foul, that's going to be out of play. That's why that strike one is so important, that first pitch strike to pitchers. And then, as you mentioned, you go 1-1, that next pitch is really another swing pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. And Wade Davis, I think it might be just part of his personality, because when you look at his
high sky back into left center field, and that's Upton to make the catch.
It seems like the the situation for Wade Davis, the more that he bears down, is able to power through it. I mean, you even look at his splits on, with nobody on base. The batting average against him with nobody on base is just below 270. But when you start to get runners on, runners in scoring position, it goes down into the 220, 230 range and just heads straight south. Once again, get him into trouble, get guys on base. He's able to come up and make quality pitches and get out of those jams the same way he does when he gets into bad counts.
Yeah, that goes to determination, really, I think, in the makeup of Wade Davis. Carlos Quentin taking a big cut and missing. And when we talk about that, I always am reminded of Wade when he first came up, and Todd interviewed Wade's dad, and he said, boy, this is amazing, isn't it, to see your son? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I told him I didn't think he could make it when he was a kid. It was such a long shot. He was a kid from Lake Wales, and Wade had the determination to make it. And I think in the face of that, his dad was supportive, but being realistically, calculating what the future might hold. And Wade just had the grit and the stick-to-itiveness and the determination to make it. So I think when he gets behind in the count, I think that's what we're seeing. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. I mean, if you think about it, that's true of almost every guy who's ever played or been a part of this game. The odds are so stacked against you that these guys who make it to the major league level are truly making the most of a gift and doing what they're supposed to do with that, and that is own that skill.
Yeah, the odds are stacked against you in a game that's built on failure.
Yeah.
It can lead to some long, sleepless nights, right?
Quentin has loved life on the road, apparently. 448, under 200 at home. Pops it right side.
He needs to find a new apartment.
Yeah, he needs to live in Chicago where they have room service.
Yeah.
Pierre is grounded out. Beckham hit a fly ball to center. Full count. Davis, a 3rd round pick of the Rays in 2004. Progressed right up through the Rays minor league system. Got here for a half-dozen games in 2009. And he walks Quentin. So a 2-out pass. Paul Konerko will bat. Well, there's some interesting numbers in the lineup here for the White Sox. They have not been hitting much lately, but you look at their numbers with men in scoring position. They are consistently good. Up the right side, back toward the corner. That's going to be a fair ball. One hops the wall. Joyce with the pickup. They're going to have to hold Quentin at 3rd. It's a double for Konerko. Thought for a moment that might be back in the corner there and allow Quentin the opportunity to score.
Well, Paul Konerko going out, getting that pitch. You don't expect him to hit the ball right down the line. That's exactly what he does, and the ball stays in the park. You're right, Dwayne. You're looking at Carlos Quentin thinking he's going to score. 2 outs. He's running on contact. May have had an opportunity, but gets held up, and Rays can dodge a bullet here. The big at-bat by Adam Dunn.
Well, here is Dunn. And if Davis is to get out of this inning unscored upon, he's going to have to do something with this guy. 1 ball, no strikes. Dunn back active after a bout with appendicitis. Fastball inside. 2-0.
And Wade Davis coming with a different approach than Adam Dunn saw last night. You knew that he was going to see Shields change up early in the game. He saw it early and often. Struck out on a cutter in the 9th inning. Pitches that are not a big part of Wade Davis' repertoire.
And the pitch is down. 3-0. It's Alex Rios on deck. First base open, even though it would load the bases. You know, he's got to be careful of this guy. And he walks him. And he walked him on 4 pitches, but being very careful with the left-handed power of Dunn up there, first base open, and Rios, who lifetime is 0 for 8 against Wade Davis.
You don't want to give in to Dunn in that situation, especially, 3-0. You know he's got the green light. You lay one in there, and guy averages 40 home runs a year.
So here is Alex Rios. Wade, this is upstairs. Rios, fly ball to center last night and twice grounded out to short, 0 for 3. And a shot back into left field. Bull going back with room, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Rios jumped on a fastball. White Sox leave him loaded. Rays coming in to hit. No score. In the top of the first inning with a couple walks and a double. We go to the bottom of the first. Joe Madden's lineup has Sam Bowles leading off, followed by Vince Zobrist and Matt Joyce, Felipe Lopez, Dan Johnson, the DH, and then B.J. Upton, Casey Kochman, John Jaso, and then Reed Brignac rounding it out.
Right-hander Phil Umber makes his 3rd start of the season. He's appeared in 4 games. Even record, 3.46, has the 1 start against the Rays. Outdueled Wade Davis, went 6 innings, gave up just 1 run.
Well, Sam Fuld, who is the 3rd leading hitter in the American League, is going to lead it off. On base percentage over 400, slugging percentage over 560. Pitch is a strike, and he's the only hitter right now this year with 2 4-hit games. Quickly behind Umber, 0-2. All 2 strikes.
One thing that impresses you about Sam Fuld is he has good pitch recognition. Does a really nice job up there of getting into an account like this, 0-2, 1-2, and putting a battle on you.
he's caught looking this time.
Except for that pitch. That pitch recognition was not very good. That was a good slider there by Umber. Just froze him. And ball starts out on the outside corner, breaks it to the middle. It's not something that we've seen out of Sam Fuld. Usually much more aggressive, especially with 2 strikes.
Ben Zobrist goes after a first pitch fastball, lifting a high fly to shallow center for Alex Rios, and that's the second out. 2 up, 2 down.
Well, let's take a look at the White Sox defense. Left to right in the outfield, Juan Pierre, Alex Rios, and Carlos Quentin. Across the infield, third to first, Mark Teahan, Alexi Ramirez, Gordon Beckham, and Paul Konerko. A.J. Przinsky behind the plate.
Well, Matt Joyce was not in the lineup when the Rays faced Umber up in Chicago on the 9th. So he settles in here. Takes the pitch high. Two and 0. Joyce 1 for 3 last night. And ahead in the count 3-0 right now. He had 2 hits in the first game of this series against Edwin Jackson. He was 2 for 4. There's a 3-0 pitch for a strike. 3-1. In there, base hit. Pierre will keep it out of the corner, but Joyce will head for second, and he'll make it easily, sliding in with a double. Well, Pierre kept it from the corner, but he does not have a strong arm, and Joyce was thinking 2 bases all the way.
Checkers double of the game. Matt Joyce continues his hot hitting. Did a nice job there in a 3-1 count. A lot of times hitters get greedy. They want to pull that pitch and try to drive it. He stayed right on it and just shot that ball down into the corner. Good piece of hitting, taking advantage of a pitch away, taking it that way.
So here's Felipe Lopez. Rays with a scoring opportunity. 2 outs. And a fastball taken for a strike.
I mean, that's the prime example of hitting it where it's pitched, because so often a hitter in a 3-1 count that gets a fastball that has some power wants to jerk it, and that ball ends up getting a lazy fly ball to center field or to right field. He does a nice job. It shows you he's locked in.
1-1 to count to Lopez. Felipe was 0 for 3 in the start Umber made against the Rays in Chicago. Front that time. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good changeup there by Umber.
Well, there's a big turnaround for the Rays. I mean, you look at 10 days ago, the Rays were 1-8. Trying to get back to the 500 mark right now. Bouncing ball right side. And Beckham makes the play. Lopez out of there. Rays leave a man. We go to the second. No score. Roll the volume up here if you need to, JP. Wade Davis back on the mound for the Rays as we go to the second inning. No score. And J.P. Howe, boy, it's great to see you.
Good to be here, I'll tell you that.
We're doing knuckles now.
Joining us in the booth there. Here's Brzezinski fouling away the first pitch. That's a strike. Hey, I don't know. We couldn't have been as excited as you were, but we both felt pretty good about seeing you throwing BP yesterday.
I'll tell you what, it was fun being on that mound. I remember the last time I threw there last year was the last time before my surgery, so being out there healthy was a great feeling.
Yep. 35 pitches. Those were 35 great pitches.
It was fun. I had to face some of our hitters and get a real good look at what my stuff will do with some adrenaline. And even though there's no fans, my heart was pumping pretty good.
There's something about a guy getting in there with a stick.
Someone challenging you.
That's right.
Kotsman's going to take care of this. Unassisted, one away here in the second. Alexi Ramirez will be the next hitter. Let's take a look at J.P. Howe in action. Why don't you break yourself down here?
Oh, man, I haven't even seen any of this, so I like my cleats. I like everything's tucked in. It's all put together.
You got your slacks on.
That was a nice hack by Dan, though. I don't like that right there.
We'll keep the ball out of the middle of the plate.
That's the only thing. That's every pitch. Exciting, man. I'm glad to see a little fall off that doesn't hurt, so that's good.
Ramirez going after the first pitch. It looked like one end to left. Bold is there to make the catch. Two gone. He's been fun to watch, hasn't he?
Oh, he's been unbelievable, man. He brings it every single day, and he's a good lesson for young players to watch and how to play the game.
You know, we talked in spring training, and I know how anxious you are to get back, but you said, well, it's spring training, and I can live with it, but once the season started, you start to get a little antsy, don't you?
Oh, I was even lying a little bit about spring training. So it's definitely tough to watch any kind of competitive game going on.
How did you cope with that? You know, I haven't had the surgery during the course of a season. Obviously, shoulder surgery is nothing to, that's a big deal, and there's a lot of downtime before you can start playing catch and throwing a baseball. A lot of mundane tasks and exercises. How did you cope with that?
We're going to let you answer when we come back. I mean, these guys are up and down as quickly as you pitch.
That's it.
1, 2, 3. JP will be right back with us. No score through an inning and a half. Home half of inning 2 coming, no score, and the Rays will lead it off with Dan Johnson, the DH tonight, against Phil Umber. He drops a strike around the knees. J.P. Howell with us. All right, so what are your plans now after yesterday's BP session?
Well, I got a couple outings in extended, and then I go from there. I go right over to the A-ball side, 2 there, and then I got 5 in Durham, so about 9 outings, and I should be back about mid-May.
That's great news.
Yeah, seeing that light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, knocking on the door finally. It's been 11 months ago. I couldn't imagine this point, so I'm excited.
Now let me ask you this: all the work that you've done, getting back, getting ready to go, anything mechanically that you've changed?
Pretty much, just I got a little more weight on me, so I can stay behind the ball and I can drive through it. As opposed to if you watch 09, I was peeling off that ball quite a bit. So. It's something where it's a pretty easy adjustment, but it's hard to repeat every time, and I'm definitely getting there.
Yeah, and a big part of that would take less wear and tear, less pressure on the shoulder.
Definitely,
that's the idea.
And that's the goal. That's exactly it. I mean, I want to play 10 more years, and like everyone, we want to play 15 years in the big leagues, and one way to do it is have good mechanics.
1-2 the count to Dan Johnson. What was, aside from the waiting, and I know that's probably the worst part of where you've been, setting aside that, what was the most difficult part of that process?
I think really just watching the guys go at it during that pennant race was real tough when they got into the playoff run, and I know what that's like, so I know how great that was in my life, probably one of the most fun times in my life, and just watching that, and I was happy for the boys and proud, but I wish I could have been a part of it, and that's what we're going to do this year, so I'm excited to get back.
You talked about the added weight, the added strength. Has it changed the stuff? Any more velo?
I hope so. I don't know. They don't dare put a radar gun on me, because if I do, I might hump up a little.
Yeah.
But it's definitely going to be the same, if not better. So I know it's the same, and that's what I'm really excited about. I was expecting to have some loss or something, some movement not be there, and it's all seeming to come back.
And the curveball's still there.
It's going to be there. It ain't there. You know how it is. It ain't there yet, but I got some time. I got some time.
Johnson grounding out to Beckham at second. B.J. Upton stepping in. He takes a fastball in there for a strike.
Yeah, I got something I've been meaning to ask you. You came into the big leagues as a starter. That was kind of your gig. You bounced around doing that, and then all of a sudden, 2008, the Rays take you, throw you out in the bullpen, and the numbers are astounding. I mean, since beginning of 08, you go to the pen as a full-time reliever. The batting average against you is 195 throughout all of Major League Baseball. What in the world in that transition? I mean, fish to water. How did you do that? What was the mindset of going in there and being able to take off like you did?
I think I was messed up as a starter just those days off in between. Those 4 days messed with my head a lot. I mean, I would just think about the wrong stuff, just too much. And then, being able to play possibly every single day really eased up my mind. I think if I was a starter now, I'd be much better. But when I was young, I wanted to play every single day, and it just killed me that I couldn't do anything, and I'd work out, but that didn't really satisfy me as much as playing. So I like to play, even if it's one inning, just every single day.
And there's nothing worse than having that one outing that you didn't particularly care for, the 3 1/3, 5 earnings, and then you go sit on that for 5 days.
That was me most of the time. So
that drives you crazy.
That's why I was a little nuts,
There is something about going to the bullpen, like you said, getting an opportunity to do it just for a little while, to have that feeling. I come to the ballpark, I may play today. There's a bounce in your step every single day. And we've seen that, of course, with you.
I love it. I love the adrenaline rush. I love, you're always in a tight spot in the bullpen. You're always coming to the game when it matters, and it's doesn't get better than that.
B.J. fouling off the last 3 pitches with a count of 1-2. 1 out with the bases empty, bottom of the second inning. We're going to give a fan a chance to ask a question here. Todd, you got something here for JP?
Yeah, Jordan and Steve both want to know if he's going to follow Evan Longoria's lead and cut his hair when he comes back.
Wow. I don't like that question. That's a game time decision, man. I don't know. I like it. I love it. It's fun to just play with, but at the same time, it's annoying a little bit on the baseball field. But You know, I don't know. That's a tough question. That's a really good one. I don't know if I can do it.
Hey, take it
right there. Right there's.
It looks good. He looks good.
Fresh cut right there.
It's a handsome young man.
It's a matter of style, really.
That's it. That's all it is.
Hey, take it from a guy who can't ever wear the kind of hair that you have right now. Keep it. You know,
I will.
I mean, while you have it.
It looks good on you. I have to.
Well,
it does look good.
But this is my only option.
This is it.
This is my only option. There's a lot you can do up there.
You're lucky.
So well, it is easier. I'll tell you that much.
Wake up and go.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
One and one to count.
When I change from one medium T-shirt to another, I don't have to comb my hair.
Fastball by Kochman. It's 1-2. Johnson and Upton have been retired. Rays have taken the first 2 games of this series. Trying to get something going here with a couple outs against Humber. Kochman shoots it the other way. One hopper in front of Pierre. So 2-out single for Casey Kochman. Well, JP, you really had to like what you've seen of this club. I got off to a slow start, and some people were wondering what's going on. But these guys have something special going on, don't they?
That's it, man. I think they're kind of following the trend we've been doing in the past couple years, which is better late than never. They're coming back from behind on a lot of wins, and it's better almost when you don't rely on a couple guys. You rely on all 9 that are out there, and the whole bullpen and the starters. So you kind of always have to be ready, every guy, every day, and I think it gets you in good habits, and it's contagious whenever one guy's doing well.
A ball, no strikes to John Jaso. There's a shot. High and deep to right and gone. Jaso turns on a fastball. Hits his first home run of the year. And the Rays take an early lead. Kochman scores in front of Jaso. 2-0 Tampa Bay. What do you think about that, JP?
I was just thinking those White Sox announcers. He gone. You remember that?
Yeah.
Well, that one gone.
Yeah.
Phil Lumber trying to go with a fastball away, yank that back across the plate. So often when you see that catcher reaching back across the heart of the plate, something bad's going to happen if you're on the mound. And John Jaso crushes that ball.
So the Rays take the lead. They score first in this game in the bottom of the second. Here's Brignac putting down a bunt. Brzezinski out to make the play. Tossed down to Konerko. JP, great to see you. We're looking forward to seeing you out there again.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
JP Howell with us here. Through 2, the Rays lead 2-0. Don't miss another minute of the action, only at the ballpark. You can get the best seats, biggest savings, and all the fantastic benefits of becoming a Rays season ticket holder by calling 888-FAN-RAYS or visiting RaysBaseball.com. Top of the order, Juan Pierre takes a called strike. Third inning underway. Wade Davis out there for the Rays. It's 1-1. Well, it's good to see J.P. Howell, and he is very optimistic. There's Pierre to the left. Bull will go back, but he has a lot of room and makes the catch. J.P. is raring to go.
Well, he's been out, for a long time. This isn't one of those 15-day disabledness deals, and
missed all of last year.
Yeah,
that's tough.
It is very tough. It'll wear on you mentally, but now, like he said, you can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. He's got a game plan that involves, pitching in games, and if everything goes well, an end date.
Yep.
So you can see why he wanted to get out of this booth and start packing up to head down to Port Charlotte.
Strike to count to Beckham. Down to third base, scooped by Lopez. Throw to first. Couple of quick outs here in the third. This is part of, I think, what Wade Davis has in mind, as opposed to out there trying to throw every pitch 95 and maybe not having as much command. He got a couple ground balls and a fly ball in the second, a fly ball and a ground ball here in the third. 6 pitches in the second and 2 outs on 5 pitches in the third.
I can remember Chuck Finley, who would rack up a lot of strikeouts with that good split finger fastball that he had. I remember him telling me, look, I would rather forego the strikeout if I could have, a 2-pitch out, a fastball, curveball, a pop-up, a 1-pitch sinker, ground ball to shortstop. He said, I mean, it's nice to have these strikeout numbers, but I'd a lot rather have the quick innings, the 8-pitch inning, the 9-pitch inning. It's kind of what we're seeing Wade Davis do right now.
And there's a little tap to first. Kochman will make the play unassisted. So there's a 7-pitch inning, and we go to the bottom of the third. 2-0 Rays. $2-0 Rays lead in the game tonight and all season long. Tires Plus donates $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida. Sam Foles shortens his zip to bunt. Takes the pitch for a ball. Well, the Rays have hit 1 home run tonight. John Jaso. A towering blast off the fastball. Roller to second, and Beckham makes the play. one out. Let's check in with Todd Callis now. Todd?
Dwayne, of course, people can ask you guys questions all game long on FoxSportsFlorida.com by clicking the Rays link, FoxSportsFlorida.com. Click on the Rays link to ask your question. The latest is, with all the great defensive plays the Rays have made this year, which one do you guys think has been the best so far this season?
Boy, we've seen a lot already. Here we are. This is what, the 18th game of the season, and we've almost seen a season's worth of great defensive plays. Then Zobrist looks at a fastball for a strike. I still like the catch that Vold made on Pierre up in Chicago in the right field corner. I don't think I've ever seen potentially a catch that great that could have prevented an inside the park grand slam.
I had a feeling that this was going to be a unanimous choice. No question about it. The situation in the game, who was at bat? Juan Pierre, which you think Sam Folt's probably going to be shaded a little bit more towards center field, not going to have the power to get the ball over your head, so he had to run a long way. And then the angle at which he caught it. He was diving back towards the wall in it, from home plate. It was about a 45-degree angle, and it wasn't one of those catches where you're catching it with your feet still on the ground and your momentum, and it looks like a dive. He was completely horizontal. He had dove completely stretched out and backhanded that ball going away from home plate. Unbelievable catch.
Yeah, it's tough to think of another catch that's as great as some of the defensive work we've seen. I just can't believe that we've seen one that approaches that one. Matt Joyce, a high pop to shallow left. So Pierre takes care of that. 3 up, 3 down. We'll go to the fourth. 2-0 Tampa Bay. Two nothing Rays lead. We go to the fourth inning. Just a reminder, look for the Miller Lite Taste Greatness moment coming up later in tonight's game. Couple of quick innings under the belt of Wade Davis. A 6-pitch second. 7-pitch third. Paul Konerko opens the fourth. Pitch is too high. 1 ball, no strikes. It's down Konerko, followed by Adam Dunn. They are 9th and 10th, respectively, in home runs among active hitters. Konerko has 369 and Dunn has 356 home runs. 2-1. Seemingly a formidable middle part of the order here with those two guys. Turco pops it up. Backpedaling Brignac from shortstop. So that'll be the first out. Time to take a look at our AT trivia question on the night, with James Shields throwing his 6th complete game with the Rays, tying a franchise record. Name the other 2 pitchers with 6 career complete games for Tampa Bay. Shields has thrown more innings than any other pitcher in Rays history. And now he's tied with 6 complete games. If that's only halfway to your mark, Brian Anderson.
Well, it was a different time back then, Dwayne.
Yeah, so long ago. 1-1. Brian Anderson with 12 complete games for his career.
I didn't realize that.
It's because there was no ego involved in what you did. The line drive. Joyce charges and makes the catch, reaching down. Joyce coming straight in, taking care of the liner off the bat of Adam Dunn.
Another good play defensively by the Rays. Matt Joyce watching this ball all the way in. It is a more difficult play than it looks when you're running and he's busting in there full speed to have to reach down and catch a ball down around your shins on the run. Not easy.
That's a strike to Alex Rios.
What good two-seam fastball there by Wade Davis. That late action taking it right under the bat of Rios.
Ball, that's going to be out of play.
Both of these pitchers so far here in the early going in straight attack mode. Going right after the hitters. Wade had a little hiccup in the first inning, but he's recovered nicely. That pitch count under control.
Ball, 2 strikes. Two. Wade got out of that bases loaded situation in the first inning when Rios hit the fly ball to left, caught by Fold. The line drive into left, and Fold is there to make the catch just off the top of his knees. That ball hit hard and knuckled a little bit in the process.
This ball got crushed. You see Sam Fold having to move back towards it. Another nice shin high grab.
Are we talking about that line drive that Adam Dunn hit, and Joyce made a nice catch? Then Rios hit this one, and watch Sam fold here.
He starts over, headed towards center field, and then kind of peels back. That tells you right there the action on that ball. Sometimes you square up a baseball like that, it starts to knuckle and dive. And I'm going to tell you something right now. You watch one of the fans come out for the little pop fly contest,
oh, yeah,
and they're missing balls left and right. When a ball gets scalded to you like that out in the outfield with a little knuckling action, and you're running in and can make a catch like that.
Yeah, Rios hit the straight out of that ball is what he did.
Yes, he did.
And that was a nice play there by Fold and left. Felipe Lopez fouls this one, and the count goes to 1-1. Yeah, the other thing about Fold, here's a guy 29 years old. He's been up with the Cubs parts of 3 or 4 years. He spent a lot of time in the minor leagues. He's obviously a very bright individual, and he's just having a lot of fun. I mean, how great is that?
Yeah, he's been given an opportunity to go out there and play every day. And boy, he, like you said, Dwayne, having fun. He's comfortable, confident. He's producing. It's the chicken or the egg thing. But this is a guy who's relishing his time and what he's been given so far here early in this season.
Full count to Lopez. It's headed to second for Beckham. One away. And let's get the answer to our trivia question tonight. Brought to you by AT&T, with James Shields throwing his 6th complete game, tying a Rays record. Who are the other 2 pitchers with 6 complete games for Tampa Bay? It would be Matt Garza and the late Joe Kennedy. And Johnson fouls it back. Strike 1. There should be a few more complete games in the future for James Shields, a veteran at just 29. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Rays continue to be the hottest team in the American League East for sure. That's a strike. It's 1-2. 7-1 since the 10th of April when they got off to that slow start. Look at all the other records to this point as Johnson strikes out in the East. And take a look at that. The Yankees 4-2. Boston won today in Oakland, so they're 4-4. Toronto 3-5, and Baltimore, after that quick start, hit the skids, and they're 1-6 since then. So the Orioles were on top of the East just a mere 10 days ago.
Well, it just shows you you're going to have those kind of streaks during the course of the season, the way the Rays started out.
B.J. Upton hits one a ton down the line. Is it fair or foul? That's a foul ball. 1-1. B.J. trying to wish that one fair.
Well, when you hit a ball like that, it's going to be that close. You better believe you're wishing it. He got the head out a little too quick. See the reaction. It's clearly foul.
1-2 the count to B.J. Upton.
You talk about the way that the Rays got off to that start. A lot of times that happens in the middle of the season. It's just when it's at the beginning, it is just magnified. But here we are, a week and a half later. Things are starting to straighten themselves out.
2-2. Casey Kochman would be next. Hitting with 2 outs and the base is empty. Keeps the at bat going, fouling 1 out of play. A chance to hit in the inning. Umber walked 2 in the outing he had against the Rays in Chicago. Did 6 innings and gave up just a run on 4 hits. Came out of that one with a win. White Sox won that game 4-2. Rays and the Sox have divided 3 games right down the middle. 3-3 in the season series. DJ ducking back in. Another move to first base. Opposing base runners with Brzezinski behind the plate perfect this year in 10 attempts. 10 out of 10, and the White Sox had not thrown anybody out coming into this series, but they're 15 out of 16 now. Caught 1 base runner.
And you got to figure here too, B.J. Upton, probably the Rays' best base stealer, over 40 the last 3 years. White Sox having problems throwing out runners.
Yeah, Castro threw out Bull the other night in this series. And another toss over there.
Well, I'll tell you what, Umber doesn't have the quickest feet in his move. I think all these throws over is just trying to get B.J. tired. If you're not going to,
that's one strategy.
Well, yeah, that's absolutely right. Just keep making them dive back into first.
And a shot headed into right center field. Well tagged. That ball's going to hit off the bottom of the wall. Up and around third on his way to the plate. That's a double for Kochman, and the Rays have a 3-0 lead. Casey Kochman booms a double off the wall in right center field. He's 2 for 2 tonight.
That's a classic case of dividing the pitcher's mind. Bill Umber's so worried about B.J. Upton at first. You lose a little bit of concentration to the plate. You don't execute your pitch, and it gets hammered. Kochman, a fastball, middle up, out into right center. There goes B.J. He knows by the trajectory he's scoring. Doesn't even have to look. So right there.
John Jaso, who homered in the second, takes a pitch low, covered up by Brzezinski. The Rays have now scored 10 runs in this series so far, and 7 of those 10 runs have scored with 2 outs in an inning.
That kind of personifies this Rays team. Never give up on an inning, never give up on a pitch. Just constantly grinding and battling, and that's the way they're going to have to do it if they want to win.
So bounce it. 1-1. Well, that was the theme stressed by Joe Madden. Another way. You're going to have to find another way to do it this year. And they are showing signs of doing that. Strikes. I liked what J.P. Howell said when he was up here about this team. You know, he said it's everybody contributing. You hear that a lot, but this is a team that has a true chance to see that become reality, where every man on that active roster will contribute, has to, for this team to be successful.
Yeah, they don't have, you know, Evan Longoria would obviously be the big name, the big bopper. on this team as far as position players go, but with him being out, and even with him being, in that lineup, he's going to have guys around him that are getting on base, that are making things happen. And you're seeing that now. Guys are starting to form their own identity. Matt Joyce with what he's been doing as of late. Sam Fold and what he's done. You're getting some guys across the board that are having an opportunity to play more, getting a chance to contribute. Then you go to the pitching staff. That's the one thing that's going to keep this team in most every ball game is the starting five that goes out there. You run out 5 quality starters that you have a good feeling every time they go to the mound. You get a really good chance to win in a bullpen that so far has thrown the ball very well. I mean, they haven't been in a lot of high pressure situations, but the few that they've been in, they've come through magnificently. That guy right there, Kyle Farnsworth, 3 out of 3 in saves. So you continue to get the pitching, you give yourself a chance.
Full count to Jaso. Chops it to first. Canerco makes the pickup and steps on the bag. Rays get a 2-out walk and turn it into a run on the double by Kochman. We've gone through 4. It's 3-0 Tampa Bay.
Rays lead the White Sox 3-0 as we head into the 5th inning. Well, Rays fans, you can't fight this feeling. You don't want to miss REO Speedwagon in the Rays Summer Concert Series presented by Hess Express on Saturday, April the 30th after the Rays host the Angels. Visit RaysBaseball.com for more information on the concert series and Rays Saturday nights presented by Bright House Sports Network.
And we're fighting over territory in the booth after the game.
For the concert?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm bringing the lighters.
I can't wait. That's going to be fun. Krasinski lifting a popper into shallow left center. Look, it's going to drop. Boy, there's a little indecision. BJ came in. Fold was coming in. And BJ took a glance over at Sam. And Sam said, well, I better kick it into high gear, but he couldn't get there in time, and that's too bad. Brzezinski is aboard on a ball that should have been caught.
Oh, this ball's up here for a long time. It absolutely should be caught. You see Brignac going back, and nobody takes charge. That ball falls right in between everybody. BJ's not taking charge. Sam Fold's not able to get there in time. Well, that's a miscommunication that you do not want to have happen with the leadoff man in an inning.
Here's Alexi Ramirez taking a ball. Well,
any time for that matter.
Absolutely. And there's a case you really penalize a pitcher. I mean, he did his job, and now that's a base hit. For a long time there was an argument put forth that there should be a team error concept. I mean, who do you give that error to? You know, traditionally the center fielder should take charge and come in and yell everybody off, but you know, it falls in between or among three guys, between two outfielders and an infielder. 1-1 to count. So it's ruled a base hit, and it's really in a scoring sense unfair to the pitcher. If that run scores through conventional means, it has a chance to be an earned run.
First hit I gave up in the big leagues was that for a double. Right behind second base.
What an omen.
Yeah. Oh, that's what if I would have only known then. I mean, it was
despite an omen like that, you went ahead and completed 12 games in your career. Congratulations.
13 years. Yeah.
2 balls and a strike to count to Alexei Ramirez. It's down 3-1 now. Ramirez hitting 8th tonight, as he did last night. Martin is on deck. Ground ball and a base hit through the hole on the left side. You know, Davis was moving right along until that base hit, working out of the stretch. Now he's got 2 men on with nobody out. Tian headed to the plate, and we're headed to check in with Todd Callis.
Questions on our website Wednesday. You can log on to foxsportsflorida.com and ask a question. We have James, Dylan, and Tom who want to know about when Evan Longoria is coming back. By the way, Longo is hanging out with the bullpen crew tonight, and whether he'll hit 3rd or 4th when he comes back, guys.
Yeah, you know, here's my take on that. You want him to hit as often in a game as you can, so that's an argument for hitting 3rd. He's your best hitter. You'd hit that guy 3rd. I'd almost want to hit him lead off. I say that facetiously just because he could get up there as many times as possible.
So you're going with the Bugs Bunny theory?
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny first base, Bugs Bunny second base, all the way around?
Put Longoria 1st and 3rd and clean up for that matter.
Oh, I'm with you. The first theory, or the first, I guess, school of thought, I don't want him to not hit in the first inning.
That's right.
I want him to be guaranteed of getting an at-bat in the first inning, so he would be my number 3 hole hitter. No questions asked. I don't care who's on the mound.
2 strikes to count to Tian. Well, that's how I feel about it. Now, Joe Madden's smarter than both of us put together. So, he'll figure out where he's going to hit him, I guess. But I would think number 3 is just the logical spot for him to be. One ball, 2 strikes.
Wade Davis coming with a slider there and tried to jump on it. A lot of times as a pitcher, you reach back for a little bit more and end up with less.
Tian had a double off Wade up in Chicago. 1 for 2 with that double and a walk against Wade, and that's count goes to 2-2. Yeah, Davis had retired 10 in a row until that little pop fly dropped in among Upton, Fold, and Brignac. Fastball, he throws it by him. So Wade at 92 got the fastball by Tian for the first out.
Well, he challenges him with the fastball in and keeps it above the hands. A hitter will see that ball big. He wants to take a rip at it. It's hard to get those hands up, get on top of the pitch. Picks up a big out.
Juan Pierre. A high fly ball into right, back toward the warning track. Joyce all the way, going to leap. He makes the catch. Matt Joyce makes the catch, fires back to first and back in Joyce got back to the track with his back to the infield. Had to make a leap toward the wall to haul that one in. Wow.
Oh, Juan Pierre's got to stop trying to test the Rays right fielders. This ball off the bat. Well struck by Juan Pierre going deep. Matt Joyce, a long run. Takes a quick peek at the wall and then jumps up and makes a nice catch. He knew right where he was. Didn't worry about the wall. Jumps up, makes the catch. Wade Davis, you better believe it. And not only that, Chicago base runners do not move up.
Beckham, and he hits a popper on the right side. Zobrist is there, and the Rays get out of that. Some great glove work again by the Rays defense. Let's take another look at that effort and the catch by Joyce. Rays lead 3-0. Have built the lead 3-0. Two of those runs coming on John Jaso's first home run of the year. That came in the second inning. Matt Joyce and Sam Cole have made some fine outfield plays here tonight. Casey Kochman with a booming double driving in Upton, and then the catch by Matt Joyce. Take a look at this. With his back to the infield, leaping toward the wall. A great play. And the Armwood High star, he's swinging the bat and using that leather. Here's Reed Brignac. Pitch is too low to Reed, looking for his first hit. Well, the White Sox, who came into this series very good with men in scoring position, they're 1 for 14 with men in scoring position tonight. 0 for 4 in this game in that situation, and in the series again 1 for 14. Getting a little frustrating for Ozzie Guillen in there. It's upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Umber delivers, and that's fouled away. 2-2. Now the White Sox in their first 9 games are hitting .307 as a team and .389 with men in scoring position, and in their last 8 they're 1-7, hitting .195 and .180 with men in scoring position. Now there's one dropping into center field just out of the reach of Rios, and Brignac has a base hit. Rios coming in full speed ahead, just couldn't get there.
Yeah, no miscommunication there. That was just a ball placed perfectly out in no man's land. Rios did everything that he could. Ramirez not taking the greatest route, deferring to Rios, and he just can't make it in time.
And you know, that's a great point that you just made. When you watch the Rays play, and sometimes you watch them enough, you'll take this for granted. The little things that they do correctly, and routes to fly balls. That's one of those little things. Fold holds up as he shortened up on the bat. 1-0, but little things like secondary leads, going first to third, scoring a run from second base, running the bases properly, cutting the inside of the bag. Those are all things that Madden demands of his team. And when you watch other clubs, and I'm talking about pretty good teams that the Rays go up against that fail to do those things, it's amazing, because they're not going to jump right out at you. But if you see enough of baseball day in and day out, you start to notice those things. And the Rays, you'll see a Ray, we had the miscommunication on that ball that dropped in the top of this inning. And you'll see an outfielder maybe not take the best route, but most of the time you'll see them do those kinds of things correctly.
And Joe Madden understands, hey, if we're going to win and win consistently, we have to do the little things. Yeah. We can't afford to go out and make mistakes, not take the extra base, get bad secondary leads, not advance to second on a ball in the dirt and expect to win and just sit back and hit home runs and bomb teams. That's just not going to happen.
High foul up the right side. That's going to carry out a play.
It's precisely why when you look at last year's team, and we've talked about this before, they were 13th in the American League in team batting average, but 3rd in the American League in runs scored.
Yep.
Now, how does that happen? Well, they took a ton of walks. They're aggressive on the base paths. They did take those secondary leads. How many times last year did we talk about John Jaso on the base paths? He doesn't have the greatest speed, but he's a good base runner. And a lot of these Rays are.
There goes the runner. Full lifts the fly ball the other way. Brignac couldn't find it for a moment, and now he turns and heads back to first base. The middle infielder's trying to decoy right there. Fold is out on a fly ball to left, and Brignac realized what was up in time and got back to first. And there's the breakout for the Rays this year. The first 9 games hitting 163 and 306 since then. And look at the average with mid and scoring percentage and the slugging percentage.
Start to drive the ball, get some doubles, a few home runs. Well, you knew that the first 9 games, those stats were not going to hold. And it just was not realistic. Although it was a little disconcerting to be the only team under 200 in team batting average by a wide margin.
Zobrist takes a pitch up and away. Ben has gone out to center and bounced to first. The Rays lead in this game. A 3-run lead. Baltimore has a 5-1 lead at home over Minnesota in the bottom of the 3rd. There goes Brignac. Zobrist chops it to second. Beckham with the pickup and the throw. So the Rays start Brignac, and he advances to second base. He's now in scoring position for Matt Joyce, who just made that great play in the top half of this inning. Matt doubled in the first. 1 for 2. That's low. Ball, no strikes. Matt with 5 multiple hit games in the last 8. Hitting .466 during that stretch, and 1 for 2 tonight. That's a strike at the knees. Rays tonight, 3 runs, 5 hits. White Sox, no runs and 3 hits. Inside. The other thing during that stretch for Joyce, he has he's had a nice stretch with men in scoring position too over those 8 games. Got a man out there right now and has the jump in the count, 3-1.
Staying patient in this at bat. Umber trying to work the corners, work to the extremes. Matt Joyce not taking the bait.
And a shot toward left center field. That's going to get the run home and then some. A one hop to the wall, a double. Brignac scores from second, and the Rays make it 4-0. So Joyce comes through with a man in scoring position. His second double of the night. And there's another multi-hit game.
Well, we talked the way that he's been hitting. His first at bat, he hits a ball down the left field line. 3-1 count. Ball is away from him and up in the zone. He goes right with it, powers it out into left center field. Rays extend the lead, and that's why Matt Joyce right now is red hot with the bat. He is just working the count. Phil Umber was working him the corners. He was able to lay off those pitches, get into a 3-1 cripple count, make him pay.
Lopez going after the first pitch fastball a little late and fouls it out of play. 1 strike. Don Cooper on the phone. Nobody's answering in the bullpen.
Nobody wants to come in and face this Rays offense right now.
Well, they're apparently previously occupied.
Yeah, that won't sit well.
Pitch outside. 1-1. And Cooper going to come out, and he's sending a messenger down to the bullpen. Yeah, that looked a little strange. They were all looking in the stands. It's like, well, hey, get your head out of the stands, guys. And I think is that Mark Burley?
It is.
I think it is. He's the messenger down to the bullpen. He's down there to establish some kind of order in the bullpen.
Pony Express.
Yeah. And Cooper goes out to spend some time on the mound. Nobody was answering the phone in that bullpen.
Well, I'll tell you what, for the guys down in the pen, for their sake, that phone better not be working. Because if it's functional, then someone's going to be in big trouble.
Well, I mean, right there it is. And, they were otherwise occupied. So I don't know what that issue is. Cooper says, hey, how about the phone? Anybody?
And he's steamed right now.
Yeah, and you can't blame him. Here's Lopez, a ground ball to short. It comes up on Ramirez. Everybody's safe. Joyce into third base, and Lopez reaches on the error. So things go from bad to worse for the White Sox here in the 5th inning. The 5th error of the year charged to Ramirez.
Here it is, ground ball right to you. He just pulled up off of it too soon. He got ready to throw. Watch the glove come up off the heel. He started already moving towards first base, didn't have the ball secured.
The Rays have scored another 2-out run here in this inning on the double by Joyce. First and third now. The pitch inside to Dan Johnson.
And by the way, the phone was working. So that.
Wow. He had the wrong phone, maybe.
He might have been calling the pizza guy.
Yeah, just in case. There's only 1 strikeout, however. So they don't deliver if there's only 1 strikeout. But he's on the wrong phone. Yeah, he was calling the press box. If you're looking for relief up there, you're not going to get it. Yeah, he might get Todd Callis. Oh, there's a high fly ball toward the line. Quentin on the run, can't get there. Foul ball down near the bullpen mound. Quentin wasn't exactly sure what to do on that one. He didn't read that one all that well.
Well, that's another one. Yeah, it hung up there for a long time. You figure that Quentin would be able to get there. Dan Johnson, he's a pull hitter, so you're going to be kind of shaded that way, or at least playing him straight up out in right field. And you sky one like that, it's a ball that probably needs to be caught. Yeah, he didn't have to run that far for as long as it was in the air.
2-1 to count to Johnson. He's out in front. Change up, swung over it. The count is 2-2. Well, there's the phone. Ray's PR staff.
Leave
Can I
him
help
in.
you?
Leave him in.
The ground ball. Yeah. Right there. Trainer. He's calling the trainer. Yeah, nobody's. Hey. The state of healthcare today. Even the trainer's not answering the phone.
It's unraveling.
Oh, my. 2-2. The count on Dan Johnson. Full count. If you know your party's extension, maybe not. Three-two popped up, foul ball. Krasinski's after it, and he makes the catch, retiring the side. The Rays come up with a run on a couple hits and error in the inning. 2 left. Check all those phones. 4-0 Tampa Bay. Four nothing. Rays lead this game. Time to take a look at the Rays schedule, brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. White Sox in here tomorrow night. The Rays hit the road. As we look forward to the upcoming Rays schedule, you too can live forward with Just for Men Hair Color. First pitch to Carlos Quentin. 1 ball, no strikes. Wade Davis on the hill for the Rays. Pitch drops off low. Breaking pitch down and away. 2-0. Quentin, then Konerko and Dunn. And boy, that's a pretty good middle of the order right there in terms of the power they run to the plate. And there's some of it. A shot down the line. That ball is a fair ball and gone. Carlos Quentin hits a 2-0 pitch out of here. And the White Sox are on the board. That makes it 4-1.
Carlos Quentin gets a mistake here. Ball that comes back middle in, right into his power zone. You see that sweet swing. was able to just keep it fair inside the foul pole. Wraps it right around.
Fourth home run of the year for Quentin. Paul Konerko. He takes the curveball too low. 1 ball, no strikes. Pop foul. That's going to carry out a play. The first home run of the year given up by Wade Davis. It's a 3-run ball game right now. Strike on the outside part of the plate.
Wade Davis just needs to go back to pitching here. You can live with a home run, especially if it's a solo shot. You can live with that. Especially you got a 4-run lead. You give up a solo shot, fine, but you got to get right back in, making quality pitches, just like he's doing.
The tap foul. It's his second career home run Quentin has hit off Wade. So at the moment, Carlos Quentin 3 for 10 against Davis with a couple of home runs. The Rays lead 4-1. Keeps the count right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Davis and Jaso talking over. Let's put in a call to Todd Callis. Todd, can you hear us?
Yeah, you know, the call was the interesting part of that last half inning. We have Pat O'Connell up here from the White Sox PR staff, and he said he took a couple of calls that inning. Twice he heard Will Oman click, Will Oman click, and he tried to explain this is Pat in the press box, but I guess Coop tried the press box, he tried the training staff, and then he eventually sent Mark Burley down before he realized that it wasn't the right phones he was trying to operate. So he called the press box up here a couple times, guys.
1-2 to Konerko, 2-2. Well, that's a nice courtesy to extend to the press box and let them know who you're going to get up in the bullpen.
Little heads up before making it official.
Press box trainer and then the bullpen phone. A foul ball holds the count at 2-2. Yeah, well, that bullpen, as we all know, can be a little world of its own, regardless of which team it is. Make friends with the fans down there. And get into trouble when they're not paying attention.
Oh, a lot of free time. A lot of free time, and the hijinks that those guys will come up with. Here they're kind of exposed, you know, out down.
See, this Rays have Bobby Ramos, though, to restore order and keep it trimmed down there.
When he's not dancing.
And Scott Kersey is the enforcer to make sure that all of the rules and regulations are met. There's Bobby Ramos, the taskmaster, and
yeah, look at that tight ship that they run.
There you go. And Scott Kersey's taking names. Swing and a miss. Konerko's out on strikes. Fastball.
I think he was also trying to set the baseball record for most pieces of gum in a mouth at one time. Look at the sink on that fastball there by Wade Davis, and you've seen that a couple of times. Earlier in that bat, Paul Konerko fouled one off of his foot on a good sinker running down and in. Some late action.
Adam Dunn. Notice walked in line to right. This one is low, 2-0. You know, that little bullpen phone episode really demonstrates how when things go wrong, they really go wrong. You know, the White Sox in a stretch where they're not scoring a lot of runs. Dunn sends one back into left center field. That ball's going to be in there for extra bases cut off by Gold, and Dunn is on his way to second base with his second double for the White Sox. So the Sox have been struggling recently, and you know they just couldn't make a call to the bullpen. And Jim Hickey's headed to the mound now after this double.
Right out into the gap. Adam Dunn, good power. Sam Fold gets to it, gets it back in.
Fold made a nice effort to get over there. He covered a lot of ground to cut that one off. So they break up the conference on the hill. Alex Rios. The pitch is a strike. Rios twice has gone out to left field in a line drive to left in the fourth inning, and it really hit the ball hard. Fold caught it. Ground ball shortstop. Redyak loves and throws low, and a nice job at first by Kochman. Talk about tightening up an infield defense. A guy like Kochman will do just that.
That's why it's so important to have somebody over at first base that's got a good glove. A routine play. Brignac a little low with the throw, but Kochman with a nice scoop. That ball ended up right in his palm. Those are tough to hang on to sometimes.
Now it's A.J. Brzezinski. Brzezinski is 1 for 2. Pitch is a strike. Brzezinski got cutted for that base hit in the fifth inning on a ball that should have been caught. Rolls this one to second. Zobrist makes the play in routine fashion. Chicago settles for a run on the home run. Middle of the 6-4-1 Rays. Entry into his notebook there, and it appears that A.J. Brzezinski has been ejected from this game. He had a few words with him. Brzezinski grounded out to end the top half of the sixth. And I don't know what he said, but it wasn't very hospitable. And Brian Knight runs him, and he's taking his gear and going home.
Well, I'll tell you what, the first pitch that Wade Davis threw to him in it last at bat was a fastball that was kind of up and away, looked to be borderline, maybe off the plate. It goes against Pierzynski. Maybe it had something to do with the strike zone or his interpretation of it.
So Knight ejects him, and Ramon Castro takes over. So Castro's behind the plate. Jay Upton up there, and the first pitch is a ball. Ball, no strikes. So an ejection. DJ pops it up right side. Canerco into foul territory. One away. And here comes Ozzie. Casey Kochman due. Bullpen has been busy since last inning when they finally made contact with the bullpen. I mean, even ET could phone home. Pitching change, back in a moment.
One out into the bottom of the sixth. Well, it's a new season for your lawn. Visit your local Lowe's for savings and a free MLB fan guide. Compliments of Scott's.
Will Ullman makes his 9th appearance for the White Sox. Umber out of there after 5 1/3. Here's Casey Kochman. And a fastball right in there for a strike. Umber gave up 4 runs on 6 hits. He struck out 3, walked 1. We had him at 94 pitches. Kochman fouls it back. Casey's had a couple hits, including the RBI double in the 4th inning. He singled and scored on Jaso's home run in the 2nd. Ball, 2 strikes. Kochman, 28 years old. Came up with the Angels. He's been with the Braves, the Red Sox, the Mariners, now the Rays. 2-2. Ground ball. Beckham at second base. So 2 outs. Base is empty, and John Jaso, who gave the Rays their initial lead for our Toyota inside look. Here it is. Fastball, and there it goes.
It's supposed to be down and away, ends up down and in. And it gets punished for doing so.
Jaso's first home run of the year. There's a strike. Jaso started the year 1 for 15. And he's now 5 of his last 17, including the 1 for 2 tonight. Down on the count, 2 strikes. Pretty close right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You see Ramon Castro sitting way up off the plate, trying to get a couple extra inches from home plate umpire Brian Knight. Try to work the umpire with your body placement.
2-2.
You know, a lot of times some umpires you can not trick them, but you can get them into where if you catch the ball in the middle of your body, boom, they assume they call that a strike. So you sit a little bit further off the plate in an 0-2 count, try to buy those extra couple inches.
Tap foul. Still a 2-2 count to the Rays catcher. Castro is behind the plate when Burley threw his perfecto against the Rays.
That's a veteran catcher working for his pitcher, trying to give him every possible advantage.
And the count is full. Pitch breaking down and away.
Jaso doing a nice job of laying off some tough pitches.
That's one of the reasons he led off so much last year. Foul back and just above us. Out of play. You love a leadoff guy who could steal bases, but if you had to choose between on-base percentage and stolen bases, you're going to go with the on-base percentage. Really, that's what the Rays found out with Jaso. They utilized him last year in that leadoff spot. He's out on strikes, and the Rays are down 1-2-3. We go to the 7th, 4-1 Tampa Bay.
Top of the 7th inning, Rays leading 4-1. Time now for another question on Ask the Announcer website Wednesday. We have 3 different people, David, Mark, Steven, all want to know a variation of the same question. They've heard rumors about B.J. Upton possibly being traded to the Nationals. Have you guys heard anything? And if he is traded, would that free things up for Desmond Jennings to get a shot? Gentlemen?
All right, that's a good question there. Strike call on Alexi Ramirez. And here's the truth of the matter on that in regard to I was going to say us, but I'll let you speak for yourself, BA. We really don't know anything about that. We do know that word out of Washington is that they were absolutely downplaying that to the point of really giving the impression that nothing was going on. And so that's what we know about that. You know, you're around and you do hear things from time to time, but there's certainly no pipeline in regard to what we may or may not know about a player move. In fact, that's something that teams make a point of being very closed mouth about. There's a base hit the other way by Tia, and so all we can say is that, you know, we hear those same rumors. Washington says nothing was going on, and so that's where it is right now.
Yep.
Am I speaking for you?
Well, for most part, yeah, except for the pipeline thing.
Oh, you have the pipeline.
I do have the pipeline.
I got it. Yeah,
no. Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, I saw the same thing. I think that we all saw it at the same time. You know, it was reported, and you see it, and you really kind of leave it at that. I think in this game you get numb to the amount of rumors that are out there.
Yeah, I mean, if you tried to run down every one you heard, you'd be running in circles. You wouldn't do anything else.
Well, for, you know, moving up to the trading deadline, for every 15, 20 rumors you hear, there may be one deal go down involving that player, and it's probably not to the teams that he's been rumored to go to.
Yeah, and here's what I do believe, having been around the game a long time. I think there are tons of conversation that do go on between and among clubs, whether they're close to making deals or actually even talking about deals, specifically speaking. That's another matter, but I do think there's a lot of discussion. I saw Peralta listening in the bullpen for the Rays. Having said that, to say there's something specific going on, we're never or very seldom in a position to be able to know or certainly say that. It's a 2-1 count to Juan Pierre. But when I hear the next rumor, I'm calling Brian Anderson because he's got the pipeline.
He does not have the pipeline. That was the only thing that I could come up with there, Dwayne, so quickly. That was going to be different from what you had said.
Shortstop, Redyack's over. It's over to first. Not in time. Kochman tried to help it out a little bit there at first base, and that's what a veteran first baseman will do. Pierre, with that great speed, would not be doubled up.
Well, this is an excellent attempt by the Rays D. Brignac to Zobrist. Zobrist throwing this ball coming across the bag on the move. And Casey Kochman pulling that left leg off the bag quick. He knows Pierre beat it, but boy, you get that leg off quick and start to act like, hey, that's the end of the inning. Try to convince the umpire, but that was the right call was made.
Beckham. Pierre at first. Which is low. All no strikes. Davis pitching 2 outs into the 7th inning with a 4-1 lead. Two and 0. Beckham 0 for 3 tonight, ahead of the count right now. And a strike. A tough stretch. Beckham, who had a great second half last year, and got off to a pretty good start. Right now is 1 for his last 32 and 0 for 10 against Wade Davis. Davis has given up a run on 6 hits. Isn't that interesting at first? Fly ball right field. Matt Joyce is there. He's got it. No runs ahead, 1 left. 7th inning stretch time at the Trop. 4-1 Rays. Outstanding defensive work by the Rays tonight in this game, and they hold a 4-1 lead. Wade Davis has worked 7 innings. How about that? 8th straight Rays starter with at least 7 innings of work.
Everybody trying to outdo the guy that went before him.
Reed Brignac takes a pitch low and away from Will Ullman, the lefty reliever. He got the final 2 outs in the 6th. Brignac looked at a popper into shallow center in the 5th inning and reached on a base hit and eventually scored the 4th run of the night for the Rays. He skies it the other way. Out of play. 1-2. Base hit into center field off the lefty. Brignac with a leadoff single. Get in on all the action with exclusive on-field seating in the Papa John's bullpen box. Available dates filling up fast. Act now to make your private group reservations right behind the Rays bullpen by calling 888-FAN-RAYS or online at RaysBaseball.com. Within shouting distance of Bobby Ramos down there. Sam Full.
That's worth the price of admission right there.
Yeah. Bobby's a friendly guy and socially interactive. Foles Shortens, gets the bat back.
And gets the call. That looked to be a pretty good pitch there by Will Omen, but he forces Castro up out of his crouch. That'll block out Brian Knight. He doesn't get the call.
Redyak over at first with a leadoff base hit. Hold again, shortens. Way up in the count now. Zobrist on deck. What? 3-1. Lifted toward right center field. Rios on the run. He'll get there to make the catch. Redyak, who is down at second, has to retreat to first base. Sam gave it a pretty good ride, but Rios had the range.
If Sam Fold is 6'3", 215 pounds, that ball's over the Ray tank. He got into that. Plays big out there in right center, though, and Rios is able to run it down. 3-1 fastball, middle.
Well, Ozzie Guillen's going to make a pitching change. The right-hander Tony Pena will get the call, and we'll be back. Rays lead 4-1. We're in the bottom of the seventh. Ben Zobrist will bat against Tony Pena. And a toss to first. Keeping an eye on Reed Brignac. Pena's the third pitcher of the night for the Chicago Ball Club. Zobrist looking for his first hit of the night. Zobrist 190 with 3 home runs on the year. Stairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Pena, the right-hander, coming in here. They had Ullman, the lefty, with the switch hitter Zobrist up there, and now Ben's, of course, hitting left-handed against Pena. And I wonder if Ozzie's remembering that home run that Ben hit off Thornton. That big home run. And he wants to turn Zobrist around to have him bat left-handed here.
Well, I'll tell you what. For me, I would rather see Ben Zobrist from the left side, which is exactly where he's at now against Pena. If he is thinking about the Matt Thornton home run, two completely different kind of pitchers. Matt Thornton is a pretty firm, straight fastball kind of guy. Will Oman has the good breaking stuff. So, you know, you've seen pitchers attacking Ben Zobrist with the with the fastball or with the changeup, off speed, curveball, all those different things. So, you know, I don't know. I think that's a situation where I let Will Oman stay in and force Ben Zobrist to hit from the right side.
All three of his homers are left-handed. Pena bobbles it, throw to first. Still just got him at first base. Did a second grab after that baseball and got it over there just in time to get Zobrist. So Pena on to get Zobrist. Choice is due, and Ozzie Guillen walks to the mound. Your local Southern Ford dealers by AT and by Checkers. Feast on. And there the Rays tank. Two outs here with the runner at second. Chris Sale, the new pitcher, making his 8th appearance. He's on to face Matt Joyce. Matt, who's 1 of 8 against lefties this year.
Chris Sale's got a big arm, big fastball, but you wonder with Ozzie Guillen here, had a situation to use Will Oman against Ben Zobrist hitting right-handed. It's forcing him to burn through his bullpen. He brings in Tony Pena to face one hitter. He gets him out, now has to go back to Sale. Had Oman in the game, you burnt up half your pen in the last 3 hitters.
Matt 2 for 3 tonight. And he takes the pitch for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Two and 0, pitch high. And a strike. 2 and 1. Sale's last outing was a week ago. The count is 3 and 1. And Joyce draws the walk. First and second now with 2 gone, and Felipe Lopez, the switch hitter, of course, batting right-handed here now against the lefty Sale. Now, Sale last outing was on the 13th, when he didn't get anybody out, gave up 3 runs to Oakland. And Don Cooper has the bullpen phone now and sends a little call down there. First pitch to Lopez, misses. 1 ball, no strikes. Lopez 5 of 13 against lefties so far this year. So Gray get up in the bullpen for the White Sox now. And Sale having a little trouble finding the strike zone.
Well, this is the one thing that you can't defend is the walk. Pitcher that comes out of the bullpen, they can't throw strikes. Got nowhere to put. I guess you do. First and second. Well, with 2 outs, this is why it's so important. That's why the Rays such a luxury with a guy like Joel Peralta. The guys that come in and pump strikes, because there's nothing more frustrating than watching a guy come in and he hasn't really been close either.
The Rays have scored all 4 of their runs with 2 outs tonight. 2-1. They have 2 men on with 2 men out here in the 7th inning.
And that's what Ramon Castro goes out there and tells a guy like Sale, hey, listen, you throw the ball 96, 97 miles an hour, hit me right in the chest.
Count square at 2-2.
Sometimes the young pitcher just doesn't trust his stuff. That's why it's nice to have that veteran catcher, a lot of experience, to go out there and say, trust me, let's start pumping some strikes. Your ball's got great life on it.
And a shot to third. Great stop by T, and he gets up and throws to first. And the White Sox throw some leather into this game. T in a very nice play at third. And that prevents the Rays from perhaps scoring another run. 4-1 Rays through 7.
Runaway text poll question of the night. The Rays turning things around after a 1-8 start, having a chance to reach 500 tonight. What's the biggest reason for the turnaround? TB1, starting pitching. TB2, great defense. TB3, timely hitting. Text your vote to 789-789, standard message and data rate supply. Guys, before the game, Johnny Damon was seeing how that left hand felt. He was hit by a pitch there at the tip of the ring finger on his left hand, and he wasn't really 100% comfortable. And the question from Brad and Zip is, when do you think Johnny will be back, and how important is it to have that left ring finger feeling well? Guys, back to you.
Yeah, that's a difficult call. I think the Rays have tried to be as optimistic as they can about that. As Carlos Quentin leads off against Joel Peralta. So Wade Davis out after 7 innings. Gave up a run on 6 hits, and Peralta makes his 9th appearance. Sean Rodriguez in the game at third base defensively, taking over for Lopez. Quentin sends a high fly ball toward left center. Upton over there. One away. So it's important for the Rays to get Johnny Damon back. I mean, we saw that stretch of game-winning RBIs and key hits, walk-off hits that he contributes, and there's a lot that he brings to this club when he's in that lineup.
Oh, one thing's for sure, when he comes back, you want him to be, healthy, ready to go. You don't want him to be coming back too soon. We've seen that approach with Evan Longoria. We've seen it with J.P. Howell. And it's going to be, I think, just a feel thing for Johnny Damon. When he's able to grip the bat where he's comfortable and take the kind of swings that he's capable of taking and give the thumbs up, then he'll be back out there. The one thing that you worry about is now you're going up north on this road trip. Now, Toronto, of course, controlled environment. They have the roof closed. But Minnesota, more than likely, be a little bit cool. And you start messing around with fingers and you jam him early in the game, that hand may buzz for another week.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that he's comfortable, and I think that's going to be Johnny Damon's call. Obviously, everybody knows what the extent of the injury is, so when he can handle it and he can grip the bat, he'll be out there.
Yeah, I mean, your fingers could buzz when it's 75 degrees against big league pitching.
Yeah.
I mean, with a bat in your hand, that's no guarantee that when you make good contact, you're not going to feel it. Believe me, pick up a bat, run down to your local batting cage, try to make contact on the high speed.
Yeah. See
how that feels in your hands.
And then do it off the label when it's 45 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
A handful of bees.
2 balls and a strike. Canerco, towering pop up. Brenyak trying to keep his eye on that one, makes the catch. 2 outs. Look at Adam Dunn up there. Tigers beat Seattle 3-2. The Red Sox beat the A's 5-3. Adam Dunn takes that pitch from Peralta. Strike 1. Dunn, the big home run hitter. Peralta spent some time with the Washington Nationals last year, and of course so did Adam Dunn. There's a strike around the knees, 1-2. Peralta in relief of Wade Davis. Rays bullpen coming in with a 270 earned run average on the year. Those guys have been good. Peralta's 1-2. Up and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rays trying to get to 500 after their slow start. And a swing and a miss. And split to Dunn, had him out in front. That retires the side. 1, 2, 3. Bottom of the 8th coming. 4-1 Tampa Bay. Lead. We go to the home half of the 8th inning. Be a part of all the fun and excitement of Rays baseball this year with your family, friends, and co-workers. 2011 group party areas and suites are available. Reserve your exclusive area by calling 888-FAN-RAYS or visiting RaysBaseball.com. Now Dan Johnson takes the first pitch from the lefty Sale, and that's a strike. Second pitch in there, 0-2. Little looper into center. That ball will be caught. Hung up, and Rios coming in makes the catch.
Well, that's the play of the night. Outfielders charging line drives and making catches below the waist. I'll tell you what, Sale's been a different pitcher since Ramon Castro went out there and kind of got in his grill a little bit. Nice running catch there by Rios.
B.J. Upton looks at a strike. Foul ball back, 0-2. Well, the Rays were 0-6 until they beat the White Sox 9-7. It was on the 8th of April. This one is down. They've got a chance after that 0-6 start to get back to 500 now. They have a 3-run lead as they hit in the bottom of the 8th inning. Upton is out on strikes.
And chase the fastball below the zone by Sale. Been coming back in, 2 strikes. You got to protect this ball down and out of the zone, and BJ goes after it.
One ball, no strikes. There's a strike. 1-1. Kochman chops it to Ramirez, and the throw to first in time. 1, 2, 3. On to the 9th we go, and it's 4-1 Tampa Bay. this homestand will be wrapped up tomorrow. Jeff Neiman goes to the Hill for the Rays. We'll be with you at 6 o'clock on Sun Sports in high definition. Neiman in 5 starts, 2 and 3 against the White Sox, and Jeff's looking for his first win this year. He'll be opposed by Gavin Floyd in the final game of the series and the final game of this homestand.
I think Jeff may have found something in that last start to build off of. Against the Twins, a little shaky early and rebounded nicely, finished strong in that game, looked to carry it over.
Alex Rios faces Kyle Farnsworth, who's on for the 8th time. 1-0 and 3 of 3 in the save department.
How about that? No walks again. The importance of coming out and throwing strikes.
Rios, then Castro do, followed by Ramirez. 2-1. But Rios 6 of 11 against Farnsworth. Ground ball shortstop. Brenyak with a long throw, and right there is Kochman on the receiving end to take care of Rios.
Reed Brenyak having to move to his right. The ball that was sharply hit. Gets to it nicely. Makes the throw. See, that's what's nice, is you can just rear back and let that thing fly over there, and if it's a little low, hey, you know what? You got someone over there that can pick it. He's picked him up twice tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, what a big part and so often overlooked a good first baseman is for a ball club. He makes that infield even better. Castro fouls it back. That's a strike.
Because and it's not, Dwayne, it's not even about just the play. You know, I mean, he makes the scoop. That's a snapshot in time. But the confidence that it builds around the infield, that these guys know, just get it over there anywhere close. If I have to throw on the run, if I have to make a throw where I'm back deep in the hole and I got to plant my foot and let it fly, it just builds confidence all around that diamond.
2 strikes now. It's low. A ball, 2 strikes. Peralta worked an inning, picked up a strikeout, and now Farnsworth here. Shields went the distance last night. Price 8 innings on Monday, and Peralta worked the final inning. Sunday it was Hellickson for 7, then McGee, Russell, and Ramos. Neiman worked 7 Saturday, followed by Russell and Cruz. Tap right side. That's going to stay fair. Kochman unassisted. 2 gone.
Really sharp break on that slider there by Farnsworth. Really took off, almost ran right off the end of the bat. Ball might have had a little action on it too. You see Kochman's reaction. Cue ball.
Well, the Rays are 1 out away from getting to the 500 mark after their 0-6 start. Pitch is down to Ramirez. A ball, no strikes. There's a strike. It's 1-1. Yankees have a 5-1 lead on the Blue Jays. And a ground ball right side. Kochman, Farnsworth to cover, and the Rays win it. Ramirez out, Kochman to Farnsworth. Rays win it 4-1. They go to 9-9. A save for Farnsworth, his 4th. And Wade Davis gets the win. His record is 2-2. Umber, the losing pitcher, dropping his record to 1-2. Took 2 hours and 30 minutes to play this game. And our Miller Light. Tastes great moment. The home run by John Jaso came with 1 on and 2 out in the second inning. A towering home run, his first of the year. The Rays scored all 4 of their runs with 2 outs tonight. And that blast by Jaso, our taste greatness moment from Miller Lite, that gave the Rays the early lead. 4-1 the final. Rays have won 8 of their last 9, and they go to 9-9 on the year. Todd Callis standing by with John Jaso right now. Todd?
John, can you tell us about that shot? It just almost hit the back wall there. That was one of the longest home runs I think I've ever seen you hit.
Yeah, it just kind of happened, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it was a fastball down, and it just kind of dropped the bat on it, and it went, and it was cool to see. It went kind of far.
Yeah, I was going to say, for someone who could never get that sensation, what's it feel like when you hit a ball that far coming off the bat?
It's one of the greatest feelings out there, probably. You know, it's one of them. And, I mean, it's just confidence builder. I think I might have started to swing a little too hard my following at bats. But it was good to see everybody kind of swing today.
What about Wade Davis? First inning, it looked like he was trying to get his rhythm a little bit. Seemed like after that first inning, he really found it.
Yeah, he did. He found it with the two-seamer. They're an aggressive fastball hitting team. So he was throwing that two-seamer, and their eyes were widening up, and it was dropping out, and they were missing it. So that was a really effective pitch today. And, I mean, to get plays like what Joyce did out there in right field, that was a huge play right there. And, you know, he just kind of cruised through.
Seems like it's been the formula lately for the Rays. Great defense, and the starting pitching has really given you guys a chance by taking games deep.
Yeah, great baseball games. Great to watch. You know, fans are getting a good show out here.
When you have that 2-run home run, obviously you're happy about that. But are you equally as pleased with your work behind the plate tonight? You know, 1 run allowed. The last time you started, you had that combined shutout. I know you and Joe shared a little moment after that. Does that make you as proud as anything you could do at the plate?
Yeah, definitely. That home run would mean nothing to me right now if we didn't win. You know, and so that is where, you know, a lot of the pride happens back there, and it's good to get our pitchers through with these wins. All, you know, last 3 games or so, it's been awesome.
Against a very good team, obviously the Chicago White Sox able to shut them down. You've really been studying opposing teams and really working on your pitch sequences behind the plate. I know you and Bobby do a lot of work with that.
Yeah, we get a lot of work going. There's I mean, we have a lot of scouting reports out there, and you know, video and all that stuff to go over, and our pitchers are constantly getting new stuff going, like new pitches that they want to throw and everything. So you got to be on top of that too, and it's a lot of mind work, you know, but it's a lot of fun, you know, especially when they come out here and do it, and it makes it fun back there calling a game. You know, it's like a video game or something like that.
Price broke out the cutter Monday. James Shields the 3/4 slot yesterday. No new pitches for Wade Davis tonight, right?
No. He tried a couple new things, but you know, it's all his pretty standard stuff. Yeah.
Thanks, JJ. Appreciate it.
You got it.
All right, John Jaso, as he hits the 2-run home run, and the Rays win it tonight. Back up to you, Dwayne.
All right, Todd, thank you very much. The long one hit by John Jaso to start the scoring.